Welcome. The hour being 7 p.m. on Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. The Tooele City Council is meeting in a business meeting being held at Tooele City Hall in the council chambers located at 90 North Main Street in Tooele, Utah. This is also being broadcast on the Tooele City YouTube channel. We will start with our first item, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please rise and repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our second item is a roll call. Councilwoman Gochis.
Present.
Councilman Hanson.
Present.
Councilman McCall.
Present.
I'm Councilman Brady. I'm also present, and we'd like to excuse Councilwoman Manzione. She is out of town. Our third item is the Mayor's Youth Recognition Awards. This is presented by Mayor Debbie Wynn.
Thank you, Chairman. What an honor it is to recognize individuals at our city council meetings that are doing wonderful things in our community. And so before we do this award tonight, I would like to invite our police chief, Adrian Day. He's going to come up and help me give away this award tonight to a very, very well-deserved young man. And there's his backpack. We got a special backpack, but we would like to introduce to you this evening the Mayor's Youth Recognition Award recipient tonight, and it goes to Frank Muntean. Help me give him a round of applause. Now, you know, his friends call him Frankie. So we're friends now that we have met, so I'm going to tell you all about Frankie. Frankie was nominated by Chris Nielsen, who is the principal and also a first grade teacher at St. Marguerite's. He was also nominated by Caroline Kunimura, and she is an art teacher and a first grade aide at St. Marguerite's School. Frankie is always trying to make the classroom and school a better place. He is kind, compassionate, and loving, and takes great pleasure in serving others. Each day after school, Frankie volunteers to help wipe down tables, collect trash, and vacuum. He is willing to share his knowledge with others and is genuinely happy for their success. During the school's recent WCEA accreditation visit, it was reported to Mrs. Nielsen that Frankie showed excellent leadership qualities. He freely shared our school's mission statement and school-wide learning expectations with the accreditation team. The team was so impressed with his insights and responses, as well as his love for learning, our school, and his faith. Whether in the classroom, in the gym, or on the playground, Frankie is the student and the friend who wants to include everyone. During lunch, he will pick different people to sit with and often invites the teachers to join him. He has a love for life and his faith, and it shows. He loves to sing Christian songs and often asks to pray, to celebrate the day, or to comfort when someone is struggling. He is the one sharing stories as well as offering encouragement, compassion, and compliments to his peers. If he finishes his classwork early, he often volunteers to help struggling students to understand the lesson. He is often heard saying, "You can do it," to a fellow classmate. Mrs. Nielsen and Mrs. Kunimura are so proud of Frankie and feel that this is well-deserved. I have met his parents as they came in this evening, and his beautiful little sister there, Elena, and they are also very proud. We want to congratulate Frankie and let him know how much we appreciate him being a person that we all should be like He's got all of those perfect qualities, and we appreciate him sharing those with everyone. So let's give him another round of applause. Parents, please stand, and we're going to give you a round of applause for all of the great work you do as parents. And we would like to take a picture so that and if the council wouldn't mind coming down, let's stand right here. We'll get another picture, or get a picture of all of us, because we're going to put this in our local newspaper. It will also be on our social media sites. And for those of you who want to share this with your family and friends, this meeting is recorded on YouTube. Just look up the Tooele City channel, and every one of your friends and family can go and watch it. So I'm gonna switch you for just a minute, Frankie. I'm gonna let you hold that. No, let her be there. Sisters are important. Yes, they are. All right, come on up here, everyone. Come on up close. How's that? Can you get us all right there? Can you see us all? Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. Thank you very much to the teachers and the principal for being here, not only for nominating him, but we know how much you love those students, and we appreciate your commitment to them, and thank you so much. Oh, yes,
Thank you, and congratulations, Frankie. All right, we'll move on to item 4, which is our public comment period. This is the time for the public to address the council. We ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. You state your name into the mic, and then you sign the paper over by Michelle and Loretta. The time is now the public's. Seeing no one come forward, I will close the public comment period, and we'll move on to item 5, which is ordinance 2024-09, an ordinance of Tooele City codifying the previously enacted Overlake Plan Zoning District regulations, presented by Andrew Agard, the Community Development Director.
Thank you, Chairman. So this is a fairly simple item. The Overlake Development Agreement also includes within it, even though the development agreement itself is defunct, the agreement did include some zoning regulations and standards, particularly related to land uses, setbacks, building codes, or zoning codes and so forth. Roger and I have been working to codify a lot of the PUDs and outlying zoning documents that are not readily accessible to the public. We are taking the planned, basically the Overlake document, and placing it on the zoning code as a specific zoning code itself. That way, it's available to the public. They can all get access to it to find out what the zoning regulations are in the Overlake subdivision, rather than have to call staff and get the large document itself. So this is just a matter of getting it on the zoning ordinance and codified for everybody to have access to. So.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve ordinance 2024-09, an ordinance of Tooele City codifying the previous enacted Overlake Plan Zoning District regulations.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, I also vote aye. That passes 4-0. Item 6 is Resolution 2024-29, a resolution of the Tooele City Council tentatively adopting the budget officer's tentative budget for Tooele City fiscal year 2024 through 2025, and establishing the time and place of a public hearing to consider its adoption, presented by Shannon Wimmer, the Finance Director.
Good evening, Council. Each of you have been provided with your fiscal year 2025 budget books. This item tonight is really just on the agenda to meet state law that we provide the City Council with our tentative budget by the first meeting in May. In your budget book, you will find the budget message provided by the mayor, who also serves as the budget officer. You'll see in that book that the mayor and Shiloh have gone to great lengths to take this very detailed and very complicated budget that we have for all of our funds and put it in a book that's easy for the public to understand and in a more informative format. We will be holding a discussion on this meeting on May 15th. So again, I would just like to encourage you to please review your budget over the next 2 weeks. And if you have any specific questions, you can email those to me in advance and so that we can better prepare for that. But we'll be going over more specifics of the details of this budget on the 15th once you've had a chance to review that in that work meeting. The budget book is available for the public to review right now on our website. There's also a hard copy in the recorder's office. So I would encourage the public to take a look at this book that's been provided by the budget officer and explain to them how the finances of Tooele City are working. We will hold the public hearing on this budget to adopt it on June 19th. And so I realize you haven't had a chance to review it, but if there are any questions you have right now, I'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, we haven't had time to review this, but we have had budget meetings, so, and we've discussed things, and I think we're on the same page for most
Yes,
things,
we've
so.
been working, as you have also
been
been working
working
on this
hard,
since
yeah.
February and maybe even January, but you haven't seen how it all comes together, and so we'll give you some time to review that and then have more detailed discussions on the 15th.
Thanks, Shannon. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2024-29, a resolution of the Tooele City Council tentatively adopting the Budget Officer's tentative budget for the Tooele City fiscal year 2024-25, establishing the time and place of public hearing to consider its adoption.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Goches,
Aye.
Councilman Hanson,
Aye.
Councilman McCall,
Aye.
and Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 4-0. Item 7 is Resolution 2024-30, a resolution of the Tooele City Council consenting to Mayor Wynn's appointment of John Perez to the position of Director of Economic Development Department, presented by Mayor Debbie Wynn.
Thank you, Chairman. I always talk about how exciting it is to do our recognition awards at the beginning of the meetings to our youth and to the adults. And so most of the other stuff is usually boring. But tonight, I have another really awesome opportunity to present something very wonderful to you. So this resolution is being brought to you this evening for your consent on my appointment to Mr. John Perez to the position of the Director of Economic Development. I want you to know the process that we went through. Shiloh, my assistant, Shiloh Baker, and Councilwoman Manzione. We narrowed down the list of applicants, and we interviewed several people that were interested in taking this position that had become available when Jared moved on to the Economic Development Corporation of Utah. And as we met with John, we had read his resume. He is very well educated. He has a bachelor's degree in management, a master's in public administration, and both of those degrees he received from Arizona State University. And at the moment, he was living in Arizona. And as we met with him and learned all about him and all of the various economic development-related positions that he has held in local and state government. So he understands government and how government works and how economic development works with government. He has worked for Maricopa City, Mesa, Phoenix, Fountain Hills, and he's also worked for the state of Arizona. As we met with him and talked to him, teamed up with this education and this experience, the enthusiasm was unbelievable at how he talked about how much he loves his work and loves economic development. His personality came through that day. I think we laughed about half of the time. And And we just felt like he was the member of our team. That's who needs to be appointed to this position. So I first want to introduce to you John Perez. John, would you come up, please? And obviously, John's going to be a Utahan because he's going to move here to Utah. Right up here. So I am proud for you to meet John, and know you will learn quickly about the enthusiasm that he has and how he is so excited to help our city continue what we've been doing with economic development. So I'm bringing this to you tonight for your consent to my appointment.
Thank you. All right. Any comments? Questions?
Looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of great things going on in the community.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Okay, great. I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2024-30, a resolution of Tooele City Council consenting to Mayor Nguyen's appointment of Mr. John Perez to the position of Director of Economic Development Department.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman McCall, a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, I also vote aye. That passes 4-0.
So John will begin working for us next Monday, and although Councilwoman Manzione is not able to be here, she is thrilled, and she gives her congratulations to you also. And then we will come back to another meeting and officially swear him in. So thank you so much for your support.
I just had one last thing, Mayor, for him. John? Right, yeah. Do you like candy?
Sure.
No, I was thinking, well, maybe this time when I come and see the mayor, it'll be some candy left in her office. Because the last economic development loved candy too.
Maybe I can do better than you.
Welcome, man.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item 8, which is Resolution 2024-32, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Tooele County for dispatch services for fiscal year 2024 through 2025, presented by Police Chief Adrian Day.
Evening, Council, and thank you. Seeking your approval for this agreement with Tooele County Dispatch. It is very similar to last year's. It's actually $10,000 less than last year, but for the fiscal year of 2024, 2025, it's $319,000 and $200 actually, and it pays for dispatch services for fire and police. It's based on a fee that's put by population and usage. So we are obviously the highest in the county, which makes sense. So I can take any questions if you have them.
Any questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve Resolution 2024-32. Excuse me. A resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Tooele County for dispatch services for fiscal year 2024 and 2025.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson, a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, I also vote aye. That passes 4-0. Item 9 is Resolution 2024-33, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Mountain High Electronics, LLC, for furnishing and installation of an 80-foot communication tower and related emergency communication equipment for Fire Station Number 3, presented by Paul Hanson, the city engineer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First is introduction. This is a tower for new Fire Station 3, as you read, which is currently under construction at 1,000 North and just east of 100 East. One of the essential elements for an emergency facility is the ability to receive and transmit radio signals so that they can respond appropriately. So this project, or this resolution, would award to Mountain High Electronics LLC a contract for the furnish and installation of an 80-foot tower to be located on the west side of the new fire station. This is not a typical cellular type tower you see, which are very large and have very big antenna arrays on them. It's actually quite a slender antenna. It has a diameter of only about 36 inches. It's triangular shape, it fits within a 36-inch diameter circle. For reference, the one at the police station, which you may not even realize is there, is 60 feet. This one's a little taller because of some line-of-sight issues, and it gives the firemen also an opportunity to use it as a training tower. Since the city is now expanded with some higher structures, like out at Peterson Industrial Depot, this allows them to also train on this tower aside from having it primarily for communications. Where this is a specialty project with a specialty contractor, it was not bid, but the city does have experience with Mountain High Electronics, as they were the ones that provided the police station antenna, and they also do most of the county emergency management actions. So it's a good fit for the city because they very well know how to integrate the equipment and get it all tied together. The price from Mountain High Electronics is $114,000, not just for the antenna, but for wiring, installation, base. There's speakers inside of the fire station. There's pager systems. There's a whole bunch of electronic equipment that comes along with it. So it's not just a structure. After discussion and review of the proposal with the administration, it's our recommendation to you to award a contract to this contractor for the 80-foot tower in the amount of $114,000.
All right, thanks, Paul. Any questions or comments?
The only thing I thought of is 80 feet is within our code to have it that tall.
Well, we have to go to Planning Commission.
Okay.
And the conditions that we'll be presenting to them for it, we're ordering it now because it's a long lead time item. But we will be taking this to Planning Commission as a conditional use, and we'll be satisfying the city code and providing actually fencing to help separate it off. But when we leave tonight, I encourage you to find the police one. It gives you just good reference for what we're talking about. It's just 20 feet higher.
Is there any concern with the Air Med base being in that proximity, or is it?
They're fully
because it's
aware
so
of it,
narrow?
and they're taking no opposition to it. The only thing they've asked us to do is to put a red flashing strobe on the very top of the antenna, but it's not in their path of flight directly, and they understand it.
All right, any other questions or comments? I will entertain a motion.
Go
Go ahead, David. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I approve. I recommend we approve Resolution 2024-33, a resolution to Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Mountain High Electronics, LLC, for furnishings and installations of an 80-foot communication tower and related emergency communication equipment for Fire Station Number 3.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman McCall, a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
And Councilman Brady, I also vote aye.
Thank you, Council.
Thanks, Paul. That passes 4-0. Item 10 is Resolution 2024-35, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Cache Valley Electric for the installation of a traffic signal system at the intersection of 1000 North Street and First East, I was going to say, presented by Jamie Grandpree, the Public Works Director.
Good evening, Council. Before you this evening is a resolution 2024-35 to approve an agreement with Cache Valley Electric to install a traffic signal at the intersection of 1000 North and 100 East. This will be our second city-owned traffic signal in the city, and for this intersection, it is warranted. We have done some traffic studies for this intersection, and it does warrant a signalized intersection. So we have been looking at how to implement that and to bring this to you to get it in the process. So we have done the warrants. We also have a fire station that is going up next door, Fire Station Number 3. That is also going to need some help during the busy times to try to get fire trucks through that intersection. So this is another issue that we're having, that we also want to try to get something for that intersection. As you are aware, that intersection gets pretty busy. It's back behind Macy's. And so we are getting close to getting this going. We will have an invoice with you later on this evening with Michelle that's for UDOT to purchase the parts through UDOT on the state contract. Cache Valley Electric is also on state contract for install services, and so we're doing both with the state contract. Cache Valley on that gave us a price of $158,840 to do the install work. We do have currently out to bid right now some road improvements for 1,000 North from about 100 East down to about Starbucks. Left side, so the north side of the road where the road needs to be widened, some curb and gutter, just some miscellaneous work that needs to be done. That's still out to bid, collecting, hopefully getting some bids collected on that, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we get those bids closed. So with that, an entertaining a motion to see if you'll approve this resolution for tonight and see if we can get moving on this traffic signal. And I can answer any questions if you have any questions.
Any questions or comments? 1,000 North is very busy. I was on it earlier today, and I was just shocked how many cars were going east and west on it, so definitely needed. All right, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2024-35, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Cache Valley Electrics for the installation of a traffic signal system at the intersection of 1,000 North Street and 100 East Street.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 4-0. Item 11 is Resolution 2024-36, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with JUB Engineers for the city salt storage building design presented by Jamie Grand Prix.
Okay, so moving on with my next resolution, 2024-36, is for design services with JUB for a salt storage building. We are locating one on the north side of town. We've spent a lot of money every year or every winter moving salt from our south salt shed that's up by the city facility, the Public Works facility, to the north side of town for snow removal operations. And so we have found that hopefully that by building a salt shed on the north side of town, we can get our trucks into the north side of town a lot quicker and keep them on the north side of town without having them to come back in. Our salt shed that we currently use by the Public Works facility on the south end of town is shared by the county and by the state. And so sometimes we're in queue to get salt for a while. And so this shed that we want to design and construct on the north side of town will just be a city-owned facility. And so we have picked a spot on the Rogers property to locate this salt shed, as well as we are also in the process of trying to put a well on that property as well. And so with this design, even though it's kind of just for the storage building, but we're also looking at the site as a whole and how we're going to encompass the well on that property and the salt shed. We are just taking a sliver of that property for both those facilities and just incorporate them onto one parcel. And so with that, we've kind of, the $66,400 that JUB gave us for design services, that does cover our salt shed design and site design, and also looking at the well site in that design, and just the geotech for the property for both facilities. So that price is a little up there just because of that kind of work that's being done. So with that, we'll take water department funds and funds for our salt shed to pay for the design. And so with that, I'm asking for to entertain a motion on this one if you're able to, and approve the design services for putting our salt shed or designing a salt shed for that parcel.
So Rogers Street would still be closed in the winter. You just access it from the Glen Eagles neighborhood.
Yeah, and we're going to move the gates. Right now, the gates close about, I think it's 1,000 west. We're going to move the gates down to where the parking lot is for the trail, and then kind of at least maintain that road going up, and then, so that we can still access the site. Because I want to put the salt shed and the well kind of back behind the parking lot where the trailhead is.
That road's pretty rough. It's in bad shape.
Yeah, it is. And one that we don't take care of. We get a lot of drifting snow. That's why we close it during the wintertime, is it just drifts so bad. I'd have to park somebody there 24/7 to keep that road plowed, you know, and so if we have a salt shed there, we have plows, we're gonna be going there to get salt, so it'll be kind of maintained. But we're gonna fix it up to where the gates are now, and so that way it'll be decent there and get in and out, and then, yeah, and then we just close it from the trailhead down to SR 112.
Great. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve Resolution 2024-36, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with JUB Engineers for the city salt storage building design.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Goches,
Aye.
Councilman Hanson,
Aye.
Councilman McCall,
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 4-0. Item 12 is Resolution 2024-41, a resolution of the Tooele City Council amending the Tooele City fee schedule regarding fees at the water reclamation facility, presented by Jamie Grand Prix.
Okay, this ordinance comes to you. We've had some issues with our RV dump station. So we have an RV dump station that's located up at the fuel pumps, also located close to our Public Works facility. And that's there for RVs to be able to dump their waste, you know, use the water to flush out their tanks. We do get a lot of commercial vendors now that want to use that site, and we really don't want commercial waste going to the RV dump station. We just want the RV dump station to be for RVs. And so we try to get them to go down to our water reclamation facility. In the fee schedule, though, it was kind of set up for those that are bringing, you know, larger amounts of waste to us, you know, 1,000 gallons plus. And we charge $25 for any amount up to 1,000 gallons, an additional $30 for each additional 1,000 gallons or fraction thereof. And that's our current fee that we have right now. We've got some food trucks that want to use the facility. And with that fee that we have in place, that's $30 or $25 for, you know, dumping 30 gallons or 35 gallons, you know, a low amount of waste. And so talking with Roger, we came up with a different kind of way of doing the fees. The fee still kind of works out, but if we kind of just break that down to like 200 gallons at $5 per 200 gallons, and then round it up to the next $5 increment, 1,000 gallons discharged, an additional 30. He kind of just made some changes in the language to where the smaller amounts, if somebody's dumping less than 200 gallons, we charge them $5. That way, I'm getting people that at least will come to the water reclamation facility, dump that waste. We can test the waste to make sure that's something that we can take and that people are just not illegally dumping that at the RV dump station. So we've just made a change in the fee schedule to make it a little bit easier for people, make it easier on us, and hopefully get people to bring their commercial waste to our facility and dispose of it instead of just illegally dumping it somewhere. And so with that, that's the reason for the resolution and to ask if you will adopt that.
Do we have any way to stop them from dumping where they're illegally doing it?
Yeah, if you want to park somebody there and watch it
I
24/7.
know. There's no camera or anything that,
No, we don't have no cameras. It's on county property. It's really not on city property. It's on county property, and I'm kind of limited on what I can do on that property. And it's just open, you know, so unless you have somebody parked there 24/7 to watch it, it's kind of hard. Even with this, they might not they still might want to dump there. They might not want to come to our facility. The health department in the past has kind of pushed them to that facility, and I've told the health department if it's commercial waste, it does have to go to the water reclamation facility. So I'm working with them to kind of change that process. And then the other thing too is it does have a water spigot there, a yard hydrant that they use to flush RV tanks out, and the health department was telling food trucks that they could use that water to fill their tanks. I don't want that in people's tanks. That's not clean water. It is connected to a potable source, but once it leaves that yard hydrant, I can't guarantee that's clean water, especially when people are dumping their RV tanks. I can't promise that that's clean. So I told the health department I don't want people filling with that water. It's not safe water to be filling with. We've got some new signs ordered. We're going to change the signage out up there to hopefully just encourage people to go to the water reclamation facility, discourage them from using the water to fill up tanks. And so hopefully that'll help, but I still can't guarantee that they're not going to use it. But at least from our standpoint, just to cover ourselves, we just need to do what we can just to make sure that we are doing everything we can to protect public health and protect that station and get waste where it needs to be.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-41, a resolution of the Tooele City Council amending the city fee schedule regarding fees at the water reclamation facility.
Second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 4-0. Item 13 is a clarification on ordinance 2024-10, the new culinary water rates presented by Jamie Grandpré.
So I think it was the last meeting or two, I brought to you the ordinance to change the culinary water rates. We just wanted to make a clarification on that, just making sure that you guys were aware what our intention was with the dates that we had set. Even though we were able to put the rates into effect immediately, we decided to at least wait 30 days so that we could give notification out into the utility bills. So finance could, put that information up at their office so residents would know that the rates were going up. With that, it was our intention to have these new rates posted on the June 1st bill. And that when I presented that ordinance to you, that was the case with the June 1st bill. However, in order for the rates to be posted on the June 1st billing, they actually go into effect May 1st. So because we bill 1 month behind for all utility services, the ordinance is listed an effective date of June 1st. We just wanted to clarify to the council that this was meant to be on the June 1st billing date, with the rate actually taking place May 1st. So that's just a clarification that we wanted to come with you and just at least state that so that you guys were aware that even though they were going in effect June 1st, it does go with the May 1st. It does go with the May goes in effect May 1st, going out with the June 1st bill. That makes sense.
Yep, any questions or comments? Okay, we don't need to vote on that, it's just a clarification. And then item 14 is clarification on ordinance 2024-11, the new sanitary sewer rates presented by Jamie Grandpré.
So that ditto, so the same.
I should have said ditto, huh?
The same paragraph I just stated over again. So same thing on the sewer rates. It was, the water rates. We did both of them at the same time. We did both ordinances at the same time. It's the same clarification for the sewer rates as well.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you, Jamie.
Okay, thanks.
Item 15 is Resolution 2024-39, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Jensen Family Landscape LLC for Tooele City Hall Landscape Project presented by Darwin Cook, the Parks and Recreation Director.
Good evening, Council. Thank you for allowing me to present this resolution to you. Resolution 2024-39 is a resolution regarding the improvement of the landscape around City Hall. And so this is a xeriscaping project that we're going to do here at City Hall. I apologize that I didn't bring the rendering. We are going to convert about 7,500 square feet of turf into xeriscaping. So it's the section here on the south part of City Hall, the part just west of the building here, not the park strip, but just out front of the building here on the west, and then the park connected to the building on the north side. We have applied for reimbursement from the Waterwise, the state Waterwise program. We were approved for this project prior to starting the project, which will reimburse the city about $1.50 for the 7,500 square feet, which is roughly around $11,000. We are going to do mostly colored rock, some drought-resistant shrubbery, some different types of trees. We're going to keep a good portion of the trees. However, a few of the trees we are going to thin out just to try to make them, because as they've matured, they've started to choke and crowd each other out. But we are going to make those adjustments, and all of our irrigation will be drip in this new area. And so we sent this out to bid, and we had 4 responsive bidders. Jensen Family Landscaping at $88,500, England Construction at $178,000, Broken Arrow Construction at $138,263, and Greenland Landscaping at $90,823. And after reviewing these submitted bids, we've chosen Jensen Family Landscaping at $88,500. And this is a project that we've actually had in the budget in the general fund budget for 2 years. We're just now getting it to where it was designed, and that we were waiting kind of for the state to get their program going so that we could apply for that and then get approved for it. So we're ready to go on this now. And any questions, I'd gladly answer.
So some of the trees being removed are like the big mature trees you're
Yes.
thinning out? Okay.
Yeah,
looks
the
so
ones that are
nice.
crowding the building and the ones that are crowding each other. One of the problems is it's actually creating a situation where they're actually affecting each other. One of them is actually dying because it's so crowded to the other ones.
Okay.
So,
You're the expert. We'll trust you.
And he asked that because we are a tree city,
We are.
Keep the trees.
and I
Save
just
the
want to
trees.
know, I just want you to know that we planted 300 trees last year. So,
And he's the head tree man.
yep.
I'll be hugging it so Mr. Jensen can't tear it down.
Chairman will be out there
Make
chained
the
to
news
it.
for it, right?
Yeah, I think honestly we'll see that the ones that we do leave will actually produce a little better and have a better canopy once we get them so they're not so choked.
Cool. Great, I'm excited for this project. Any other questions or comments?
Oh, I should mention too that our goal is too with this project is to create an example of xeriscaping so that it's in the public way, in the public view, so that as people are considering xeriscaping their personal property, that they can come and see some different ideas here at the city. So, and different plants, different layout schemes, so that maybe they can incorporate some of those to remove. And our goal isn't to remove all turf. Our goal is just to remove non-usable turf that just is watered, basically.
Did you say you were not going to do the park strip?
We're not, currently, we're not doing, the park strip is not part of this phase, but we are going to follow up with some continued planning to do the park strip and then also the detention basin that's on the far north of the property.
Okay.
And council, we're just really excited that this project is going to start very quickly and be finished before the 4th of July. So we're excited. Be good.
Thank you, Mayor. I forgot that. Yes.
Great. All right, any other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve Resolution 2024-39, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Jensen Family Landscape, LLC, for the Tooele City Hall Landscape Project.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches, a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darwin.
Thanks, Noreen.
Item 16 is our invoices and purchase orders presented by Michelle Pitt, the city recorder.
Thank you. We have an invoice for iWork, and it is a software program for community development, and it includes a business license package with that, and that's for $30,000. And then an invoice to Ferguson, and this is for retro setters to modify the meters to bring them into compliance and fit with the new meters. And that is for $43,750. And then, as Jamie brought this matter to you earlier, this is an invoice for UDOT to purchase the traffic signal items for the 1000 North, 100 East traffic signal. And that's for $113,541. And then we have another invoice for UDOT, and this is for the traffic signal at 3100 North and SR 36. This is actually a pass-through, and so Perry Construction has paid Tooele City $120,648.71, and then we turn around and use that to purchase the parts for the signal. So our invoice is for $119,148.71.
Any questions or comments? I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we pay the invoices as stated by Michelle.
I'll second, or Melody, one of which.
We have this motion from Councilman McCall, a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gouches?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. That passes 4-0. Item 17 is our minutes from the April 3rd, 2024 work meeting and the April 3rd, 2024 business meeting. Any changes? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Gouches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady. I also vote aye. That passes 4-0. And item 18 is to adjourn at 7:46 PM.